it's Jenna G. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one of those quite popular items at this time of year, and it is pastels. So in today's video we are going to be making pastels, but before we jump into the video, of course you guys know you gotta hit that subscribe button and also the bell notification button as well, and that's just to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my videos to come. Now before we jump into the pastel making video, I just need to say this up front because I know there are going to be a lot of comments, and I just want to tell you guys I agree 100%. So basically what I'm going to say is that I will be using foil in this recipe. So yes, I know a lot of people say no, pastel is not real pastel, not a traditional style pastel. When it's done in foil, you need the fig leaf or the banana leaf, and I agree 150%. However, sometimes it is a little difficult to get your hands on the fig leaves, or sometimes you just don't really know anybody who have any way. You just want to make a fast pastel basically, and we almost always have foil in our kitchen. And next thing, I am not going to be using the traditional ruku. So ruku is that thing that gives the foods the color, the reddish color. So some people use it in stews, and a lot of people say it must go into a pastel. Unfortunately, I don't have any on hand, so we're going to be doing pastels without the ruku, and we're going to be using foil. So like I said, the traditional way is with the fig leaf and with the ruku in it. We're going to eliminate those. But again guys, before you go commenting, this is just to give you guys an option. If you do live in, like husband likes to call it, a concrete jungle, and there's no access to fig leaves, try it at home. It isn't that bad. It isn't much different. The leaves add a lot more moisture to the pastels, of course, but it's an option. So this video is for you guys who may want to still try it with the foil. You all could stay tuned. I will be doing a proper video on it once I get my hands. If I don't get my hands on ruku, we are still going to be using the fig leaf though, so you want to stay tuned to that proper video. So just a little bit about the pastels though, that's quite popular at this time of the year in Trinidad. We love a pastel. It usually consists of cornmeal, and on the inside there's usually minced beef or minced chicken like I'm going to be using today, and even some people have been using soya in it as well. Now the meat mixture usually has capers and olives, raisins in it as well, with some green seasoning and the ruku. If you don't have the ruku, you can use ketchup, or you can actually use tomato paste as well. So you just wrap it into the foil, and you can either freeze them until you're ready to use them, or you can put them into steam or to boil. It's pretty simple, so let's get into the video. So let's talk about the ingredients that I'm going to be using in this video. I'm going to be using minced chicken, some black pepper, salt, tomato paste. Now like I said, ruku is what they actually use in a traditional style pastel, but if you don't have any, you can use ketchup, or I am using tomato paste. I'm going to be using some green seasoning as well. This is a combination of shadow benny, hot pepper, pimento, garlic, thyme, and some chive in there as well, and also some onions. Now these are the optional additions to pastels. Most people will tell you pastels is not pastel unless there's olives, capers, raisins. I personally don't like them, but most people think that they should be in there, so we're just going to include just a few. I'm going to be using some margarine, some coconut oil, and this is the brand of the cornmeal that I'm using, the only one that has worked for me so far. So when you're going to get your cornmeal to make your pastels, make sure you pick up this particular one. So I'm going to start things off by cooking the meat. So I've got my pan up with some coconut oil. I'm going to add some of the green seasoning. And then in goes my minced chicken. Then I'm adding my tomato paste. I'm going to add the remaining of the green seasoning. And in goes my salt and black pepper. So now this is finished cooking, but you see there are chunks in it. This is not what you want to be putting into your cornmeal mixture. So we're going to be adding this to the food processor or your mini chopper to get it into fine pieces. So into our mini food chopper this goes. If you have a bit larger one, of course, you know, put it all in at the same time. So this is what it looks like. See how fine it is? That's perfect. And now to this, you can taste it. If you need to add more green seasoning, you can go ahead. We are going to add in the chopped olives, raisins, and the capers in there. And like I said, I am not a fan of it, so I don't really add too much. Sometimes I don't even add any. And I'm going to just set this aside while we prepare the cornmeal mixture. Before we jump into the cornmeal though, let me just show you, I'm going to be breaking my foil into pieces and setting it aside. So as soon as we are finished with the cornmeal mixture, we are going to put them into this and wrap them up. So I'm just going to give you guys an idea of the size that I'm using. So I'm just cutting them out and I'm going to set them aside, and then we're going to get into the wrapping part of it. So for the cornmeal mixture, I'm going to be using some of this. I'm adding some salt, and for this you need to have some warm water, and I'm adding in my butter, my margarine, I should say, our blue band as you say in Trinidad. I'm using my hand. I am just going to mix it all in. And now to this, I am going to be adding my warm water. Now it's going to pick up all that liquid really quickly. So now what I'm going to be doing is just rolling them out into the size balls that I'm going to be using. So remember, this will depend on if you want mini or regular size. It's all up to you. We're just going to set them aside here. Now the thing is, when you're adding the water, you will probably find that there's more water than you probably need, but it absorbs the water so quickly. So you want to add all, and it's going to add to the nice soft cornmeal mixture that you want in your pastel. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to cover this with a damp cloth so that it does not dry out. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is adding some coconut oil to a bowl. Now the thing is, I don't even have one of those press to flatten the cornmeal out, so we're just going to be using our hands. So this is what I have here. What you're going to do is just roll it in the oil and flatten it onto your foil. Now if you have the press, well, it's gonna get it done easier like that, but I don't have it. You're just gonna add your meat mixture, and then here's the tricky part. So you're going to fold it. So I usually fold it across like this, wrap my hand along it, and it pulls apart easily like that. So you're going to wrap it now, because you don't want any water or anything when you're steaming it to get into the foil. So I'm just going to fold it a few times, and then here I'm just going to wrap it up. this is what our foil pastel looks like. Let's do another one. And you're just going to do that for all of the cornmeal balls that we made. Once it's finished boiling, we're just going to remove them and let them cool. Alright guys, so I let it cool for a little while. Let's see what it looks like now. Open this bigger one. And just rip it across. Rip it across. And look at that. Beauty. Nice and perfectly done. Let's cut it. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Chicken pastels using foil. And we've got ourselves some pastels made, guys. It wasn't that hard. Time consuming part of it is the wrapping of it in the foil, or if you're using the fig leaves. That is the most consuming part, part of it. But once you've done that, I'm telling you, you're going to be loving it. So just a couple of things to note. If you do have the fig leaf, I will be doing a video on that soon enough, so you can look out for that. In the meantime though, go ahead and try using the foil. It works pretty fine. Remember the boil time, you don't want to overboil it, so you want to boil like 5 to 10 minutes max, because it will dry out the cornmeal in it. So be mindful of that. If you don't have the ruku, like I said, be sure to use either tomato paste or ketchup. It's totally fine. The cornmeal, important reminder actually, this is the brand to get that perfect pastel, the perfect cornmeal. This is the fine cornmeal. I've tried other brands and they have not worked, so this one, you need to get this one when you're doing the pastel making. You can freeze the pastel, so once you wrapped it, you can put them into bags. Like this is what I did. So I put 4 into a plastic bag. You can share them out, you can keep them, parcel it out and keep them, but it stays perfectly fine. When you're ready to use it, drop it into the water and it's good to go. So if you are freezing it though, you're going to be leaving it longer, of course, than 5 to 10 minutes. You can try like 15 to 20 minutes. But if you're now making it and you're going to boil it, put it for like 5-10 minutes max. I personally love pastels. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys try this out. Be sure to try it out. Let me know what you guys think. It's really nice. Go strong or add as much of the capers and the olives and the raisins as you like. If you're like me and prefer none, eliminate it. Include some, have fun with it. So try out these pastels, guys. I'm telling you, you will love them. Thanks so much for watching, and look out for more videos to come. I will see you all in the next video. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Chicken pastels using foil.